Hi everyone! For this week's tutorial I'm showing you how to create abstract art using resin, which I'm applying to a shallow wooden plate that I bought in my local hardware store. Here's a list of materials that you will need. You will need some mica powders. I'm using two colours by Arteza in gold glow and bronze. Some pigment pastes in turquoise luster and premium white pigment paste. Polar ice fire glass and copper mirrored glass from Laura's Art Corner. These are stones. And turquoise glitter by Arteza. And some alcohol ink in the colour patina. Of course, you could also choose your own colours. So I've already stuck on some resin crystals onto the wooden plate, and I've used some hot glue and embedded it down. So as this is an abstract piece, I'm pouring the coloured resin in no order, but I don't want these colours merging together completely. I want to retain some blocks of each colour. So I'm starting with turquoise pigment paste mixed in resin, and then I'm going in with the gold glow mica powder also mixed in resin. I've made both of these quite opaque as I want the bottom of the dish to be fully covered. Here I'm adding some clear resin here and there, but I'm keeping some for the end because I need those to stick the stones into. I'm going sparingly with the white as it can kind of take over your piece if you add too much. So just a few little trails here and there. I'm going to give it a quick zap with a torch to get rid of the bubbles. And then I'm twirling the plate around lightly, and this helps create some really cool effects as the pigments and the clear resin flow over each other. On goes on some more of the turquoise from before. I'm just filling in some areas that are not covered in resin. Now I'm going to add the alcohol ink, the patina alcohol ink, and I just love this color. It's one of my favorites. And then I'm going to add small trails of the gold glow, just a few here and there. It gives it a really lovely shiny lustery effect once it's dried. Some may sink to the bottom and others may float to the top, so it's worth just trial and error and see which works for you. Another little quick twirl just to blend those colours slightly together. And now I'm going to use the heat gun just to blow some of the white out, and this also creates lacing. Now I'm adding touches of the bronze, not too much as this can also take over a piece. In general, most metallic powders do that, so I'm only adding a little here and there. You can see in that cup I haven't made very much. You really don't need very much when making up your metallics. And then once again I'm using the heat gun just sparingly, just enough to push some of that bronze and the white out for those lovely lacing effects. You really don't want to overdo it with the heat gun. That's a top tip for you. So to the edges of all these crystals, I'll be adding clear resin, and this is kind of like a glue, and I'll be placing the stones down into them. And once these dries, they won't fall out, they'll stay in place. And I'm using a mixture of the copper mirrored glass and of the polar ice fire glass. Both of these stones, they'll stick out of the resin. They won't submerge. And now for some light touches of the turquoise glitter that I add right at the end when the resin is starting to set up a little and become a little thicker in consistency. And this will help the glitter stay in place in one area and not blend or sink into the bottom. So allow this to cure completely and just cover it with a box to prevent like dust falling over the top, which happens a lot and it can be really annoying. As always, this piece shines and glistens so much more in the real than on camera, but you can see the overall effect of the different mediums used together. It really does make a difference combining powders, inks, and pigments when tinting your resin pieces. Those combination really create some amazing effects. So I hope you've been inspired by this tutorial and have fun creating your own. If you do, please tag me on Instagram or YouTube at Edna Art. Have a great week and I'll see you all soon.